The Jenn Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, is an inspirational hour that'll take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. Get ready to be transformed from Dr. Jenn's live guided healing meditations and intuitive readings, and unveil the power of connecting to spirit, the angels, and your higher self. Dr. Jenn is passionate about helping you find the answers you're looking for through an inward journey that'll strengthen your connection to spirit and help you trust your intuition. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jenn Royster.
Hello everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Dr. Jenn. Today we're going to talk about September of 2022 Pisces full moon that comes in on September 10th. This is a day after the Mercury retrograde goes into effect on September 9. So they're overlapping their energies a little bit, and we're going to talk about what that means today from astrology's point of view. And we're also going to ask the angels for some insight, some guidance on, okay, what does this all mean and how can I proceed to find the most efficient path to navigate through energies that can sometimes feel a little foggy, unclear, not sure, and really truly find the lessons that we are looking for. This topic is metaphysical, astrology, and the angelic realm. I really love working with those topics, and we have been doing quite a bit of that on the show recently because there's just so much going on in the world. It has so much information that can help us as we're working to improve our lives. So here we go. I want to remind everyone that intuition is a part of all of us. Whether you believe in anything or not, you still have intuition. You have this gut instinct of what feels right when you're making choices. What can trip us up is when we're second guessing our own intuition. Our intuition is very much about decisions that are best for us. When we work with that and connecting with our higher self soul, and we let that come through into our physical world, you know, shy of a better word, that's when the magic happens. That's when things start to come together. That's when it doesn't matter about how much money you have or what you don't have. You find that you're content and you're happy, and there's value in that. Also, it can bring the abundance in finances. It can bring it in happiness. It can bring it in relationships, and just overall, your experience here in your life journey just takes it up a whole nother notch. But listening to your intuition is a very important part of listening to your higher self, your soul, which knows why you're here, which knows what's going on for you, which has all the answers you're looking for. And so I'm very much a believer in supporting and helping others figure out how they can connect with their own intuition, not just listening to what somebody else says. Yes, I do intuitive readings. I'm very much using what I'm picking up. I read energy fields. I work with the angelic realm when I do readings, and we love to do those. But I also encourage everyone to trust and listen to what feels right for you. Sometimes we take what works and leave the rest behind in a lot of different scenarios. So this Pisces full moon, Pisces is the last astrology sign in the zodiac. That's also representative of being the final, the ending of a chapter, the ending before we start something brand new and beginning again in Aries. So Aries is the first one. Pisces is the very last one. This is a full moon in Pisces. Because it's coming in right after the retrograde, which we talked about last week, retrogrades are interesting in general. You get 3 or 4 of them a year. They last about 3 weeks. So we're going into one that will be our 3rd one for the year on September 9th, which is tomorrow. The day after that, the full moon. And why are these tying in together? Because you can feel a bit foggy, unsure. You know, when you're in a retrograde, It doesn't mean that everything is going south or wrong or however you want to phrase that. It just means slow down, time to reflect a little bit, think about it. And you're the key, which we talked about last week, but I'm going to remind everyone, the key to that is looking for what you can learn from it. What can you learn from this experience? And so when it's foggy like that, with retrogrades, any kind of retrograde takes you inward. This one takes you inward about communications. And that's Archangel Gabriel's fantastic for that. We talked about that. But when you're going inward, and then you have Pisces, which is inward as well on the spiritual side of things. And it's also, really taking you to higher conscious levels. Your intuition is a lot easier to tap into. You can tap into these other realms. But at the same time, the goal is to stay grounded while you're doing it. I know. It's so easy to just go into the ethers and just float away, right? You feel like that sometimes. But honestly, the goal here, so you can bring it into your physical life and just really comprehend it in this world, this life, is to stay grounded while you're doing this. Yeah, that's why you hear ground before you meditate. You always hear this grounding thing. What is this grounding thing? It's really just being present. It just means be present, be in your body. It's not an escapism. It's about being fully present as you experience higher dimensions or go into these different meditation states. So that's a way that I explain it. And I think that makes sense to me, and I'm hoping that might help somebody click with what is all this grounding. You don't want to just go, you don't just go, it's kind of like put your seatbelt on before you drive. You're just putting that feature in that will make things better all the way around. You're going to stay in the moment. And so, it's really easier to just leave and escape. Yes. We see that a lot. You just want to get away. But what if you could get away and stay grounded and then find ways to bring it into your physical world? Well, that to me is the ticket. That's what makes sense to me. So I want to welcome everyone. Welcome everyone in the chat. Here I am tripping on words. You can tell that we're live, right? There's no editing with live, and it's just real. You're getting the real deal me. Yes, I trip on words, and yes, we have to repeat. But that's because it's keeping it real, and I am here with you. It's not pre-recorded, so I do like that about live shows. And I wanted to say hello to everyone that's joined me so far. Candace and Shadana, hello, hello, hello. Good to see you guys there. And we are in September. Everybody's busy. All the kids that I think by now have gone back to school that are in school. So let's talk about this a little bit. We have this magnetic pull coming in with this combination. That's what I'm talking about. It pulls you inward. It wants you to reflect. It wants you to feel this. And that's where the Pisces comes in. So here you are being pulled in with retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and you have Pisces that is going to be about feeling it versus seeing it in your physical world. So you have to go in and feel it first to connect with it, to resonate with it. And yes, you may not know all the answers during the retrograde time. That's okay. You go in, you reflect, you go with this, you ride this current. And then once retrograde is passed in a few weeks, and retrograde is passed in a few weeks, and that starts to move direct and things start to come to clarity, you'll know which way to go. You don't have to know which way to go right now. It's okay to not know for sure. That's the point. That's the point. Being okay with that in-between state is probably one of the questions I receive a lot about, that feels really squirmy and weird if I don't know what I'm going to be doing in the future. It's practicing not worrying about the future and taking this moment to be right here, right now, kind of in the in-between. Because it clears out. Sometimes we're just trying to jump from what was to what is, and it always feels like we're trying to catch up all the time without this, okay, let me just pause for a second as all of that clears away, and then you have a clean slate in the in-between. I call it the blank canvas. It's like, well, what do I want to put on that now? it gives you this opportunity to stop and think about things. And sometimes we're just going so fast that we don't take that time to think about things. So because Mercury is very communications and mental and thoughts, and then you have Pisces coming in, this is where it's going to be all about your intuition. So the affirmation that I wrote for this show and what you can use during this time goes like this. I trust my intuition to show me the way. I go with the flow as I listen to my inner voice. That's it right there. Probably something you can use all the time, every day, I would think, because that's what we want to be doing. So let's go into this a little bit more. This Pisces moon feels kind of foggy. It does. It'll feel like I'm not quite sure where this energy is or what it's doing. It might feel like that. It might feel like it's hard to describe or yeah, I'm not sure what I'm feeling or not feeling. That's okay. You don't have to try and feel anything. It is about feeling, but you don't have to try and feel. It's more like just letting this current of energy take you and let it show you. And just go with it, kind of like floating in the water. Just let it flow. And then here you are trying to understand, okay, where is this going to affect me with my thoughts, or where is this going to affect me with my communications this first week? Remember, this first week of Mercury retrograde is going to be a little bit more about how we're connecting and relating to one another in our relationships. Then it moves past that into the last week or so into a different moon, which is, I believe, Virgo. And then it's going to be more about taking care of yourself. Remember, that's the independent, the goddess that takes care. You know, the Virgo is, hey, I'm confident, I'm good just the way I am, I'm independent and I can do this. So it's going to take you through how we relate to others and then back to what are you doing for you. Now, with Pisces coming in, that's the planet of the mind. And it goes, you know, it's going to move into, you know, working with this. The Mercury being the planet of the mind, and then you have a Pisces full moon. These two going together create this energy of feeling like you're not sure, okay? Don't let that freak you out. I'm bringing it up because it can feel a little scattery, it can feel confusing, it can feel like, wait a minute, which end is up? You can feel turned around a little bit. That's why I'm bringing it up. Don't let that freak you out and cause all kinds of problems. It's more about, okay, I have no idea what's going on, but let me just go with it. That's the key. That's how you do it. I asked Michael, I asked Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael. I also asked Archangel Samuel, which is a great angel for one step at a time, and who I call on when something's lost or I'm trying to figure something out. And great for career counseling, Samuel and Michael. Michael's very logical. He's a spirit. I know, it's like the logic is there. It's like, let's get a plan together. He's very structured, very organized. He's also a very go-getter. And Gabriel is about that communication. Hey, you might need to look at this perspective differently. You might need to look at this differently. Change your viewpoint here. Look at it from different angles. Look at it from different people's point of view. Then make choices. And when you put those three together during this time, that can really help. First of all, we have to be okay. And it's kind of a practicing being okay with not knowing when you're in this scattered, unsettled, not sure feeling. You know, you can feel like, wait, I'm not sure, I'm not sure. You don't have to know right now. That's the point. And when we go, okay, I just don't know right now. I'm not sure. Let me just ride this out. That's your ticket right there. That's what you want to do. It doesn't mean the answers aren't going to come through. They're just putting them in a slower holding pattern right now. So you can settle. So you can be okay with not knowing every single thing before. Because honestly, if you look at 3D and 5D dimensions, which I've talked about before, I'm really practicing 5D all the time now. And when I don't feel it, I'm immediately stopping everything I do and I go right there. It feels so much more comfortable there than it does 3D. However, if you're around a lot of people that are still in the old school pattern of thinking, which is fine, they can choose that. It's not a right or wrong. It's just choosing where you want to be. Okay? It's like choosing your favorite, it's like choosing what's right for you. It doesn't mean that they're not okay. It just means they've chosen to stay where they are. So you have to think about it that way. But it can feel like you don't have much in common, a lot or more so, especially with spiritual awakenings. You can feel that way. You can feel like, wait, everything that I was good with and all my relationships, they seem to be shifting, altering, or they're not so great anymore. And sometimes they fall away, sometimes they don't. And it just is a constant shift, okay? So choosing to be in 3D is a lot more fear-based. It's the way we've known it for hundreds of thousands of years. Everything's controlled that way. And 5D is, there is nothing controlled by fear. You're not afraid to be in the quiet unknown. So that's why I brought it up. So in this case, I would recommend, with intention, I would like to see this from a 5D perspective, which doesn't have fear attached, because I don't know what tomorrow holds, or I'm not quite sure what I'm going to decide in the future. I'm not sure how this is going to pan out. That kind of thing. It can help a lot. We will feel freer. I do. I know that I do, and I'm sharing my experience. The more that I practice that, the more freedom I feel in whatever it is I'm doing. I'm not worried about all that stuff. So you don't know, no, but you can fret about it, or you can be in a state of peace with it and let the universe have some opportunity to show you what it wants to show you. So when we do it this way, we have this wave of energy that feels confusing, we're not sure, but then there's also this amazing opportunity to let the universe have the stage, be the presenter, and show us what it wants to show us. When we're constantly fretting and trying to make it work out a certain way, we're not listening really. I find that it's harder to listen. Let me put it that way. We're all different. You're going to find your niche with this. If you're feeling out of sorts with this full moon, just come back to your center, okay? Find out where you feel like you're just holding on to something really tightly, and just close your eyes and think, well, what if I just let go and just be for a bit? And just practice it like a quiet meditation for 5 minutes here and there. It's going to really help you a lot. Michael says there is nothing to fear. He's all about cutting the fear cords. He's all about let's go. At the same time, he's like, you're not going to get anywhere if you're holding on to all this fear of what ifs. Fear of the future is usually fear of something that hasn't happened yet and may not. And it's like we've got all this energy we're wasting on worrying about something that may not happen. It might, but it may not. And instead of spending your energy in your now and being in that present moment and enjoying and appreciating where you are right now, we're completely missing it because we're fretting about what's going to happen tomorrow. It doesn't mean you don't have plans, but it's also practicing that go with the flow and that flexibility of they could change and shift and redirect, and one could end up a plan that looked like it was solid, could end up being a stepping stone to something that's better. So letting the universe guide you on your journey, letting it show you why your soul came here, and this whole point of why are we here can come to light if we allow it. But there'll be a couple of weeks of quiet where we won't know. And you don't need to know. We don't have to know. We think we have to know. Or no, we have to know, we have to know, we have to try to make it go a certain way. Just saying that out loud sounds stressful to me. And it used to be the way I lived too, because that's how we were taught. That's how we've always been for all these years, thousands, hundreds. I don't even know how long. A long time. 5D is here now. Earth is going there. Earth is already there. We can choose now. We can choose to live from different perspectives and different dimension frequencies. How do we do that? How do you go from 3D to 5D? Well, it's an intention and frequency alignment, because all of them coexist at the same time. You'll be living around people in different frequencies. You'll be around them, you'll work around them, and you'll be in what you choose to be in. The trick is, choose what's right for you, not what everybody else is in if that's not what's right for you. That's where the saying no when you need to say no comes in. So it's kind of interesting when it works that way. So maybe if you looked at this Pisces full moon as it's not going to be about thinking and figuring it out, even though we got this retrograde, because the retrograde slowed down, it's not thinking and moving forward. This Pisces is more about feeling what feels right, or feeling what feels off, or feeling. So you will feel not sure at first, especially if you're not used to that. But at the same time, well, I have no idea what's happening now, but let me just let it show me. And just sit back and see what it's going to bring to you. And it's a go with the flow. It's releasing, trying to control things that we don't need to control. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. I mean, we try to control everything when there's really nothing to control. We can control our choices. So, but when your choices are not sure, then you just wait till you feel it. And it's going to be different for everybody. So sometimes we just make it so hard on ourselves and we're pounding. This is very stressful. This is not self-care when we're stressing about stuff like that. So we have things that will come down. So when we're feeling, our world on the outside is slowing down, or things we were trying to get done aren't really moving very fast, it's being okay because it's slowing down with this movement here. But then we have all of this energy going on inside of us because that's where it wants us to be. It wants us to go inward and really listen to that intuition. That intuition is going to be the most important thing that you ever give time to. It always has and always will be. That's what you want to listen to. We were given what we needed. We just need to use what we have, right? So you might feel old things come up. You might feel old memories, things that, were old wounds, but you're looking at them and you're taking a pause and it's for healing. And it's to let you finalize that and clear it. It doesn't mean you forget them. It's just a reflection. It's not living it again. It's reflecting on how far you've come, what you've been through, and what lessons can you learn from it. Sometimes, and I want you to hear this, there's things that have happened to us in our past that, may be traumatic, maybe painful, maybe grieving. They come up because there's something to still heal or learn from. So when we're healing comes through forgiveness. It also comes through, what can I learn from this? And then I can let it go. And then when it comes back around, you might find that it's not as painful as it was. You still remember things. It isn't like you forgot somebody, but you've grown and you've strengthened and you took what you could learn from the situation or the experience. That's super important. I mean, tell me about that. I've learned that through the School of Hard Knocks a few times when I was younger. But those are lessons that I'm really glad that I've learned. And then sometimes they come back through later and you still find something else you could have learned from it. That's what I want you to hear. So it might come out as like, oh, I don't want to listen or feel that again, but then you will find that there's something else. So I always ask, what am I supposed to learn from reflecting back on this? That's what you want to ask your angels. And then let it go and go about your day to see. So now, if your inner world is always about your wisdom and your intuition, this is the perfect timing to go in and tap into those energies. You want to listen to that. So the Pisces full moon, it has this energy of thinning the veil. So it'll be easier to connect, with the spiritual realms. It'll be easier to access intuition, your higher self, spirit guides, angels. It's easier in a Pisces full moon, but you will be feeling. So be easy on yourself if you're feeling emotional. It can happen. I mean, sometimes full moons, for a lot of people, they just feel that. This one will be more feeling because it's the Pisces. It's the energy of that. So we don't have to be And here's the thing, you could feel this and connect. And this is something that I find very interesting. You don't have to feel or be spiritual or have a special gift to connect. You don't have to be meditating or you can connect. Spirit is available to everybody. Your intuition is available to everybody. So a lot of people feel like, oh, I can't do that. I need somebody else to do it for me. And I do that. I do to support and help other people and encourage them to listen. And a lot of times readings that I do are confirming what they already knew. And that's okay. But it's when you want to believe in yourself that's very important. So this is about intention of the heart. So you want to set an intention with this one. You want to trust that it was heard. They are always heard. And then you just stay open for the signs, the dreams, the intuition that pops in. And sometimes intuition can feel weird. Okay, I'm not saying jump on everything, because you might pick up some interesting stuff right now. It doesn't mean you have to act on it in that moment. It just means pay attention. Jot it down, record it, remember it, write it down, something that's popped into you, that you felt. But some of them can feel strange, because some of them just seem like, that would be so crazy to do. How is that going to go over? You've got time to think about it, see? That's retrograde's a blessing in disguise with that. You want to slow down a little bit and think about it. Don't just jump into everything. But you could feel the sensitive emotions with this one. And it might make you feel a little bit more moody, or you feel like, because it wants you to go inward. It wants you to go inward and feel. So take some time to yourself. Do some things for yourself when this happens. Mars energy is also here's the weird part. Mars energy is active under this full moon. So here I have a Pisces full moon that's spiritual, higher dimensions, connecting and all of that, and you feel it. You have Mercury retrograde slowing all the communications down, and you feel like things aren't moving and it's unclear. And then you have Mars active, which is a go-getter planet. I know, but it could trigger impatience and the sensitive emotions. It could just make you feel frustrated with it a little bit, because you want to go but it's not, and you feel emotional and you don't want to. It'll come across like that probably, or something like that. Mars energy can be, hasty, erratic, impatient, decide too quick, not think about it, and then you're tripping on yourself. So I wanted to bring that up. If you feel that tendency, you don't want to jump on that. Just say, okay, Mars energy, I feel you. And I don't want to be that grumpy person that does that, and I don't want to be tripping and falling all over myself. It can cause, if you're moving too fast, sometimes and some people can relate, you might be accident prone when you get like that. That's what will happen to me. I'll get accident prone. You get impatient because you just want it to go, 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 But when I feel this kind of stuff, I like to be to myself more anyway. I like to just pull inward and be with that energy so I can clear out confusion and chaos that comes from outside. That may help you, okay? Remember, other people are going to be feeling all this too, so you might see this in other people. Not yours to fix. It's no need to start a battle with that. Go back and take care of your own. Remember that. This won't last long. It's really got a gift here. It's a gift of going inward and listening to your intuition. So because it's the last of the 12 zodiacs here, it brings something to a closure, to an end. You might find that you're wrapping up something, a last chapter in this part of your life journey before you go into something new. Because after we go through this, then we find how we can harvest the fruits of what we've worked so hard on, how we can finally come to a close, and what is the universe bringing to me next as I move forward after we move past this time. So I wanted to tell you about this one. Kind of interesting. I'm going to go over to chat and say hello to everyone. I want everyone to know that this energy is not bad energy. It's more, some people, Or, you know, even myself, it's happened. Sometimes you just feel, it's just, oh, do I really want to be in all that, you know? And it's good to go in and really reconnect with your inner higher self, your soul self, your inner voice, and listening to that. When we are rushing around so fast that we don't have time to listen to that, we miss so much. There's so much opportunity for us to listen and see how it will unfold. So this gives us opportunity to do that. So hello to everyone over in the chat. So here's what I wanted to throw out there. How do you practice 5D? Practicing 5D, good question. Let me answer that one because I see that. 5D, if you were to look at, I would have to go back and look at which episode it was, but I did one on like, are you in 5D or 3D or both? If you feel fear of any kind or fretting or stress, things like that, you've probably are in 3. We can go back and forth all the time. 5D is, you're just setting that intention. This is how you would connect. You set that intention. So for example, something happens unexpected and now you're finding that you're worrying about the worst case scenario or something. Okay, that's a 3D frequency. 5D would be looking for, oh, well, let me see if I can find a solution. Oh, okay, that's interesting. What can I learn from it? That's 5D. They're not afraid of, oh no, oh no, oh no. See, 3D is, and that's probably the easiest way and the quickest crash course I could give you right now in 30 seconds is 3D is always going to have some sort of fear-based, fretting, worrying, second-guessing. It's more, you know, that, you know, more negative thinking, really. But it's all about worst-case scenario, or, you know, you're always making decisions based on being afraid of something, okay? 5D is looking for if something, same thing happens. So let's take a simple daily life thing, like you have a refrigerator that breaks. 3D is like, oh great, I'm going to lose everything I just put in the refrigerator that I just bought. Everything's going to be ruined. 5D would be going, oh wow, okay, let's see what we can figure out as a solution to save the food and then find a way to fix the refrigerator. Same problem, 2 different perspectives and 2 different approaches. And that's an example. That's a simple example. You can apply this through life in so many different ways. And it's daily life. You can apply it to. Like, okay, something happens. The 2 different perspectives, that'll tell you where you are, and all you've got to do is choose which one you want to be in. So you might start off with 3, most of us do, we all do. I even find that I go back and forth too. It's normal to go back and forth. And then just go, well, I know that that's not really how I want to be about this. I don't want, because this happened, to ruin the rest of my day. I don't want it to set me in a bad mood or whatever. So then I'll go, nope, and I stop and I just take a minute and I put that intention out there. Nope, show me a 5D perspective, and I thank the angels for doing that, and they will. You ask them to show you one, they'll show you, and then you'll have these. For me, what will happen is a thought will come in, oh, well, that's an idea. Let me see what I can figure out from this. And use it as an opportunity to grow, learn, and enhance your skills or your wisdom. There's your difference right there. So I hope that that helps. Hello, Aunt Karen. Good morning. Seeing that 2 things can be true at the same time helps. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's a dimension. I mean, even in metaphysics or in the spirituality, you know, world, when someone leaves or passes away from here, they leave their physical body, but they're not gone. They're just in a different dimension, is more of what that is. That's all coexisting all at the same time. You won't go back and forth to those dimensions, but at the same time, there is a way to connect when we're listening to intuition and we're connecting with angels or our spirit guides. They're helping us. At the same time, they're not doing it for us. We still have to make choices and take action. So that's a big part of that. And Maddie, definitely wrapping up old chapters and emotions. Very emotional. I hear you, girl. Yes, it will be. And if I remember correctly, Maddie, you feel almost, you're one that feels the moons. Anyway, the cycles of the moon anyway. Some people feel them a lot more than others. I do. I feel that. I feel storms, you know. I feel all kinds of different things with Earth. And so you just have to you go with that flow. You go with that flow. But allowing this to show you is going to be amazing for a lot of us. So let's see. Hello, Megan. I didn't see you in there. I'm going to catch up and say hello, good morning. It's good to see you too. So here's what I'd like to do. We have about 25 minutes left of the show. And if you have any questions, we'll do some reads. So we were talking about tapping into your own intuition, but we are going to do reads. And the reason I'm saying, yes, we're talking about your own intuition, but it's also to help you trust. And we're putting that focus on the topic here with it. But at the same time, there's an energy field reading as well. So what I'll do is I'm going to bring out my iPad for drawing so we can use color energy. Like I said before in the past, this is not fancy drawings, okay? This is just working with color and energy for the reading. So if you have a question that you want to put out, please start putting them out in the chat. Over on YouTube, if you're just listening, we're over in a live YouTube chat. I also have that embedded on my website if that's easier. So just put the questions out there, and it takes about 20 seconds delay for me to see it. So I'm going to pull that up, and we will go from there, because this is one of those times where it's good to kind of get an energy check. You know, like, let's just see where we are. I don't do this in every show, but we're doing it today. I have some time with this topic. Some of the topics are so cram-packed. So let's see. Let me move this over to a different screen so we can see this better. All right. So what you're seeing on that is a great big blank canvas. Okay. A big blank canvas. So if I was to move into this, we're going to start working. Let me see what I can do here and get some, while I'm waiting for something to come through. All right, hold on. Let's go there. Okay. All right. So Maddie's got one in. I would love a reading for what is going on with me in the business I am building and all the changes going on in my life. Any advice it would be what? Oh, it would be wonderful. Okay. So, okay. First of all, it keeps taking me back, or anything needing my attention. I got you. First of all, the emotions that you're feeling right now, it brought me to, as soon as I opened up the app, it was on blue. So obviously you were going to be the first reading. Blue is a watery sign. It's a color of water. You know, you have different colors of water, but this is a blue. So the blue, though, it feels that it needs to be slightly, hang on. Nope. I think that is the right color. Okay, coming back. So the brush, it took me straight to the mostly water brush. So what that means is it's emotionally watery. So what I'm feeling is, it's just really difficult when I take this and I go across in a brush stroke. Okay, so you're seeing this watercolor look here, and it's kind of like a coming in where it goes over and comes back, and there's like this canopy of emotions over all of it. First of all, driving hard to have a successful business can be very stressful. There's ups and downs, and what is realistic? For a lot of times, it's more about, it doesn't have to always be perfect. Sometimes with businesses, especially startup businesses, it can be so many mishaps before there's actually a success. And it doesn't mean to quit. It means you're still fine-tuning, you're still learning. What I'm seeing is this big blanket, okay? This is the emotions over top of all of it. And right now, the blanket is covering all of it, like it needs to just turn out. It has to, it has to, it has to. That's the fear that I'm picking up, that the emotions are being driven by a fear of it not working out. And this is not easy. This is not easy, but sometimes we have to just be okay if it needs a tweak, or okay, this idea isn't working, but what did I learn from it? This is going to be the best approach for you. That's a 5D approach versus just feeling swallowed up by something being a struggle. If it always feels like it's being a struggle, we're stuck in that fear part, that what I was talking about earlier. So with this emotion going in, and you're very driven. I know you're very driven, and you've grown and you've worked through, but even the best of the best, what they have figured out is that life happens, okay? It happens, it goes great, it doesn't go great, and you roll with it. It's being like, oh, okay, they don't lose sleep over, and sometimes I go, wow, I wish I could be more like that sometimes. But at the same time, I'm not. And it's being okay that, yes, it emotionally affects me, but how can I use that to my advantage? So it's weird, because this is more about looking at this from 5D more, because I think you're going to find answers in a 5D mindset versus 3D. 3D is just fretting about every decision. And you have improved so much, but you are going to feel the emotions, and there's not going to be a decision to make right away. And I'm still picking up November for you. I think I picked that up last week. But there's a November thing for you. So right now, you're just going to gather information. You're going to observe, kind of like being in observer mode, paying attention to what is popping up and what feels right, what feels way off. You're also looking at what can you truly stay with long term. To invest so much into something and you're going to burn out quick, that's not going to last. There's something that you might want to look at with that. And this is what I'm picking up. Michael's saying to just take a deep breath and just let those fears go of something failing. Because that's probably the biggest stressor for people with businesses. They're so afraid it isn't going to work. They're so afraid it's not going to work, but then they don't even try. Or they do, if it messes up one time, then that's it. They're just like, that's never going to work. That's really wrapped in, it's almost shrouded in fear to where you can't see through it. That's what I'm picking up. This right here, if I go back over here and I take this back through, it's taking me to a pink, which is kind of interesting. Taking me to a pink is going to change me to a different stroke. And what you're doing now is happiness comes, here's your happiness, right? You got happiness down here that you're trying to get to, clouded by all the emotions above. And here you want to find little pinpoints. Find little pinpoints that you can break through this. It's kind of like look for those little spots in the sky where you see the blue through the dark clouds. You're looking for, all right, there's a little spot, there's a little spot. I know, aren't these drawings just really crazy? This is more energy, okay? We're just talking about energy. But that's what you're doing. And the reason it had me go to a fine point is because it's more pinpointed. It's more narrowed focus, like narrow the focus. There's too many things on the plate. Then going and busting through this emotional cloud that just keeps blurring things up, you're looking for the cracks. You're just looking for, maybe I need to pinpoint my focus over here for a bit, not worry about all that yet. It might be a triage thing. So that's a lot of information that was coming through, but that's what I was getting for you, Maddie. Okay, I'm going to move on so we can get a couple of them in. So let me go back to gallery. Let me see. Let's duplicate that. Okay. So let me go over here. So what we have next? We have Candace. Can you do a general for me? I have nothing specific. General. Yes, I can. Okay. First of all, what I'm getting is I want to go to a color green. All right, so let me go to the color green. Let's see. I want this one. Yeah, okay. What I'm picking up for you is you're putting in roots. Why is that white? Oh, hang on. It had it on eraser. That's funny. Let me back up. There we go. Okay. There's roots. It feels like you've recently uprooted some stuff and now you're putting in new ones. So it feels kind of like a new growth spurt for you, like a new part of life, a different transition of life. And you're taking what you've learned from the past and you're rerouting. So you're like, okay, I'm going to take this plant with me, but that one's staying. You're trimming up and you're kind of cutting off. Let me get over here and get a different brush. You're cutting off like unhealthy stuff, okay? And if I take this, let's erase it. So you're kind of, oh, that's a smudge. I got all these tools over here. So you're kind of removing the parts that aren't healthy. And this is life. This is kind of representative, metaphoric, okay? And taking what's healthy into your new life. So when I say new life, it's like, what does that mean, new life? That means you have, and here I'm feeling this beautiful color of like a peach. So I'm going to go over to this one, and you're putting in you're planting new ideas, you're planting new perspectives, you're planting a new direction you want to go. It's kind of like a lot of big change that I'm feeling for you. Even if you haven't done that yet, it's coming. That really feels interesting because I've known you for a while and you've gone through lots of changes, but there's apparently something else coming. And this color is a peach color. It's a pink with a little bit of yellow. Yellow is confidence and the pink is happiness. So you're going to be confident and you're going to be doing things that you know will make you happy. And it might be pulling back and living simpler. The rerouting, it could, in some areas it feels like that, like simpler is smarter. And then in other areas you just want to throw more energy into. And you're in a different phase of life. So I'm finding that very fascinating for you, Candace. So I can't wait to hear how this plays out because I don't even know if you know that's happening yet, but I feel that. And you said general, but that's what came in. Okay, kind of cool. Let's do this again. Let me get another one up. Let's see who we got. Megan, I have a business idea that I'm researching and toying with, but having trouble committing to taking the first steps. Any insight on this? Okay, hang on. That is, I've got two colors coming in at the same time. Okay, I gotta pick one. Which one do you want me to pick first? Okay. First of all, it's having me pick, there we go. It's having me pick I'm going to pick yellow. It's picking yellow because the yellow is your confidence, third chakra. There's a lot of second guessing or trusting that that's the right decision. Okay, this is what you want to ask Michael for confidence in your decision. So that's what I'm picking up. I'm first of all picking up the researching is perfect. You're researching, you're looking at it, you're having trouble committing. You need to look for steps that maybe aren't a full commitment step, but a half step, so you could explore different avenues, maybe find others doing what you want to do, things like that. The other color that was coming in is a bold red. That's an aggressive color in a good way with business. The color of red is going to help, it brings in confidence and take action. What you want to do is you want to bring the red in with a core of confidence, kind of like you need your confidence with the core being, the core is confidence, sorry. That red is the take action on what you're confident in of your capabilities. The second guessing is coming because you're just not sure or it's unknown. You might need to do more research is what I'm picking up, but Michael says confidence. First of all, work on the confidence. Wearing red, having something red around you can help remind you. Confidence is going to be your third chakra. Pay attention to how you feel about who's got the power here. Do you have power to make these choices? Do you believe you have the power to make these choices? This would be a self-help area. It's also an area that if there is an imbalance, you could feel, sometimes it comes across in digestive. You know, you might feel that in your digestive. And if you're feeling things like that stress-wise, it's bringing you right back to this. You want to be confident and trust what you feels right for you. This time with the Mercury retrograde in Pisces, it's going to be a great opportunity for you to just slow down and go inward. You might find that your idea that you're working with, that you're researching, you like some parts of it, but maybe not all of it. See if there's a way you can make the parts that aren't so great for you work. That would be a narrowed down focus for you on how that can help. If you are finding that there's more obstacles, or well, am I going to really be happy doing this? And what are the reasons I'm doing it? Is it for the money, or because I truly am going to enjoy and be happy doing it? You're looking to make a decision on what's more valuable to you. What's more important? Of course, we need money to live in the world, but at the same time, we need to be happy. We need to feel our self-care. We need to have a balanced life. And for some, that means that making it simpler, not more complicated. And in other cases, people that are high energy and just want to go, they got the energy to do it. Not everybody's the same. So you're looking for that confidence core with a take action energy, but you're also narrowing into the parts that don't seem to feel right for you. You want to dig there more. So that's what I was picking up. Wow, okay. And Candace is saying that was spot on for her. Okay, lived with, wow. My best friend who I loved for 10 years passed away. I took care of him for 2 years. So many things. Okay, wow, okay, rerouting. And you have a friend in spirit that, wow, but I am sorry to hear about your friend, and at the same time you haven't lost your friend. I feel like your relationship's going to be growing to another level. I feel like you're still going to have your friend around and helping you out. You are welcome, Maddie, absolutely. Let's see, I'm losing track. Let's see, we have two more, Shadana and Connectory. So hang on. Shadana, can you tap in regarding my next move, house, and career? Thanks in advance. All right, let me go back. Whoa. Okay, Shadana, next move. The next move immediately is popping in. It feels, and like I said, you know, this is what I'm picking up immediately, so I don't hesitate. I'm picking up it's more in 2023 if you're going to make a move. You have time to sort out details, and I'm getting a strong advisory. Oh, let's go here. I'm getting a strong advisory from Michael that you want to do some planning. You're really good at, this is what he's saying. You're really good at planning, Shadana, so do it. And this is the time to do it. You have some planning to do. You have some homework to do. And yes, I'm getting this over again. I'm getting that, but then I'm getting up here. You're looking to come into this energy. So this is interesting. This is representing Michael's energy. Michael's always a blue energy to me anyway. So what I'm feeling is he wants to bring this in. This is what's going to drive you to make your choices. You do have a move that it feels like it's a significant move. I don't know if it's a physical move or or just maybe a move in a different direction, but they feel like they could be tied together. They feel like it's a major move, and it feels like Michael's going to be your buddy here. You need to feel like you are filled with his energy because he's organized, he's grounded, he moves all the fear out of the way, because you've learned this over the years. You've learned how you hesitate for a while and then you've got to find a way to move through it. You won't hesitate as much this time because you've already been through it once, but you're going to find ways to fine-tune it. There's a structure or some planning to do in place before the big shift happens for you. And I'm talking your personal big shift. So Michael's your go-to. I feel like you need to have this with you on a regular basis, like strong every day. Because right now, it feels like it's the first part of 2023 that it could be some big decisions or the shift. And now you have this last part of the year. It's time to plan. It's time to watch, you know, how you're going to make it all work. It's time to start digging in and doing some homework. I'm sure you have been, but now is the time to really get serious about getting some things in place if that's what you want to do. You might be feeling like, is this really what I want to do? Am I sure? You need to get that part straight too. So Michael is definitely the go-to angel for you on this. I mean, what are you gonna, you have to know that you're doing the right thing for you with that intuition. If your intuition is pulling you for this shift, then you want to listen to that. Okay, let me see. I got a couple more. Let's see. I was going to go to Connector. I appreciate advice on how to help my mom. She's starting to show signs of dementia. Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. One of the big things, and thank you guys for the support. Thank you so much. Candace and Megan, much appreciation to you. One of the things with dementia is they feel, this is literally what's coming through. It's coming from Raphael and Michael. They need to feel safe. First of all, you have the energy of bringing the energy of Michael around for your mom to feel safe. So I feel two. I feel Michael coming in this way, and then over here it's taking me over to a beautiful green. I don't like that. That's not the right green. This green. Okay. Yeah, no, it matters. It matters what I'm seeing. This one's Raphael. This is a healing. Okay. And then they're merging together. When you think about your mom and you're bringing that energy and you're around her with intention, this is how you can help her a lot. First of all, when they're going through things like that, it's like they go back and forth, in and out. I start to feel like they feel like they're a burden. They might sometimes feel like they feel insecure. They're not trusting their own self. They need to feel safe. They also need to feel a healing energy from a deeper spiritual perspective, because the physical body is that part is the dementia part. And I'm hoping that they can slow that down and she can live her life out and feel really good. I don't know how serious it is. You said she was going in and out. But these two energies here are going to be tremendous for you to have that intention that whenever you're with your mom or helping her or thinking about her or taking care of her or doing things with her, you have these two with you. And don't be surprised if she picks it up and feels it and says something off the wall about it. Don't just smile and know, because the spirit of a person is just fine. The soul of a person doesn't have any illnesses or anything wrong. And this will bring your mom's life some quality, because that kind of energy is so comforting. And these two in tandem are going to be excellent for you and her, because being a caretaker for someone like that can be very exhausting. So you want to make sure you're taking care of you. This energy for you and her is going to be tremendous, because they need to feel safe, and they also need to know that there's some comfort and some healing coming through. It may be on a spiritual level, it may be on a soul level, it could be on a physical level, but it could be for you too. This is going to be something you're going to ride with your mom together on, and each of you are going to get what you need out of it in a beautiful way. So I find this to be kind of interesting for you. And I'm hoping that you'll follow up and let us know how things are going, because I will definitely keep you and your mom in my thoughts when I'm sending out healing energy to everyone to help keep you supported. So thank you for that. Shadana, thank you so much, sweetie. I appreciate you too. I have some really beautiful love coming back, and it means a lot. Wow. You are welcome, Shadana. So you're welcome, Megan. And let's see, we have one more fixed. Let's see. Hi, Jenny. Great information. I would like a read on soul purpose and clarity on living 5D as I just entered. It's a new energy field. Okay. Let's see. Let me come out. Went to the wrong one. Sorry. Got to pick up a new one. All right. This will be the last one because of time. So let's see where we are. Let me read that again. Like a read in soul purpose and clarity on living 5D. Okay, soul purpose. Soul purpose has a lot. Okay, here we go. Well, this is a new color coming in for what we got going on. Getting the purple on you. Okay, purple is a passion color. It's also a very spiritual color. But the purple coming in, I find interesting. Let's see. And which brush? There's a reason it tells me through these different brushes. Okay, going through with water. It's very watercolory. The purple is a very spiritual color. It's more of a higher dimension color. It's also a passionate color. Your soul purpose is going to be focusing on, and so I'm finding that I want to draw it the opposite way today. I don't know what it is with this shape today, but that's just what's coming on. So it's making a bowl, okay? This bowl is the bowl of everything that you love and you're passionate about. What I'm picking up is to fill that bowl, which is representing your life. Fill it with things that you absolutely love. And here's the thing that can trip us up. We sometimes, to live in 5D, we are truly living our passions. Our passions are fueling. Our soul is more running the show versus the ego. The ego is working with our higher self, so to speak. But our passions, our heart's passions, everything that we absolutely love that makes us smile and we can't wait to get back to, is a very important part of life. And the perspective that can come in, and I don't know why that's coming in. Oh, you might hear a noise. Somebody's trying to come back in and they're wanting to know if it's okay to come in because I've gone past time. So what I'm saying is you fill your life and make sure, yeah, you got your responsibilities, but you want to make sure that you're filling your life with things that are so passionate and important to your heart, that you absolutely love. In 5D, those types of things are what run and fuel what our life revolves around versus, okay, I'm going to go make money, and then if I have time, I'm going to do something I love. It's kind of the opposite. It doesn't mean that we take away responsibility and we are, we always have to have that finance. So when we're going in transition back and forth in our life, we feel like, wait, I've got to make money to pay my bills, but then I want to have passion. That transition between 3 and 5, which, a lot of people go, what happened to 4th? Well, that is the transition part. You're going back and forth, right? Well, you do what you can to fit more of it in. Do what you can. And if it's not if it's not important to you, that's more 3D perspective. 5D perspective, and that's what you want to hear, is about that being a focused, important priority. And when we shift that priority perspective and then lay out our daily plans, it could look a lot different than if we did it from our 3D perspective. You will find that they merge back and forth a little bit. It's okay to do little steps at a time. There is no right or wrong here. It's not wrong to be in 3. It's not wrong to be in 5. But it's where you want to be. It's what would you prefer? I prefer to not be afraid of everything every day. So that's why I'm going that way. And I want to live it more. So that's what I'm picking up. The purple color can remind you every time you see it, purple flowers, I don't know, purple clothes, purple whatever, just the color is a passion color to remind you that needs to fill your life more. And that's how you'll find that it'll be easier to be in 5D. So with that, guys, oh, you are so welcome. You are absolutely what I was saying. Thank you and spot on. Well, there you go. That's it. So we've run out of time. I've got somebody knocking at my garage door because I've gone over. And I want everyone to know that I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, Shadana, Megan, and Candace for the support today. It was a joy to bring these readings to you. I want to bring them to you more. We're looking to do some things here. We're going with the flow too as it shifts and changes. And I just want to say thanks everyone for being here with me today. And we will see you next time on the Jenn Royster Show. Namaste.
You've been listening to The Jenn Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. If you've missed any part of this